Well, good people, this is part 2 of Ellsworth, Bumpy Johnson. By the way, he got that nickname Bumpy because he had a bump on the back of his head. By the time he was 30, Johnson had spent half his life in prison, a penchant for causing trouble. He was involved in bribery, thievery, and as I said earlier, pimping. When he left prison in 1932, he was broke and unemployed. Returning to the streets, he met powerful Harlem crime boss Stephanie St. Clair. They called her Madam Queen. With Johnson's help, St. Clair waged a war against many New York crime bosses, most notably Dutch Schultz. They had nerve. Bumpy and his crew of 9 waged a guerrilla war of sorts, and picking off Dutch Schultz's men was easy since there was few other white men walking around in Harlem in that day. Serving as St. Clair's bodyguard and chief enforcer, Johnson murdered and kidnapped over 40 people during this time. But the duo's war against the mob was futile. Schultz and his associates had the law on their side and ultimately dominated the illegal gambling operations in Harlem. However, Schultz's days were numbered due to his deceptive financial practices, which caused bad blood within the mob ranks. Luciano ordered a hit on Schultz, who was shot to death in 1935. Around the same time, St. Clair, who was in the desperate need to lay low and steer clear of authorities, decided to hand over her business to Johnson. Bumpy. Now that Schultz was out of the way, Johnson and Luciano, who were once staunch enemies, made an alliance, became friends, allowing Johnson to control all of Harlem's rackets as an independent operation as long as Luciano's crew, later identified as Genevieve's crime family, would get a slice of the profits. Bumpy Johnson. Look him up.